G'day there, my name is Hannah and welcome to the RaeSide. Today we're going to be doing a react and review of A Jedi's Return, which is the documentary, of course, on the amazing Kenobi series. So without further ado, let's just jump straight into it.
Challenge from
Look at
top to
him.
bottom.
Look at his little shoes. Look at his little slippers.
Too many.
What a legend.
You got your.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Who
she
is
made
this
me do it,
kid?
and then-
Vivian
give
is
her a little
so...
sorry look.
Wow. Oh, in the right of the heart.
You all right?
Yeah, good. You.
Yeah, good. It's like Obi-Wan. I saw a hand go up,
That's
and I
beautiful.
really,
Yeah.
felt his presence.
And then for Star Wars, of course, the moment I saw him on the page, I fell in love with R2-D2.
I didn't know
That's
Vivian before we started,
adorable.
so
Anything else feel like it's making sense?
Yes, I think so. I keep forgetting the word execute for some reason. You think that would be a word you would remember? Yeah.
And I thought, yeah, I'm on board. I'm definitely on board with that.
A privilege to get to play this
Natalie.
character.
Amazing. Amazing. I was there. Oh.
It's pretty crazy
This
for
was
us because
insane.
not only are we at Celebration, but we're also premiering the show. And to sort of all have it.
We are back.
Oh. This was insane. That was insane. That was an insane experience. Oh my god. Whew. Oh. That was a good way to finish. I didn't see that finish coming. Wow. That was emotional. What an incredible. That was well worth an hour. My gosh. Let's talk about the content of what they covered. Everything was amazing, and I thought it would be that of an emotional journey. Obviously, Hayden coming back, talking about how they brought in Leia. Yeah, that was pretty expected that this was going to be a pretty emotional look into how that all came about. Some things I found really fascinating is because I've always been fascinated with Deborah Chow's, putting her in charge of directing the whole thing. And I've been very vocal about how I think that's a really smart idea. And I think especially for this in-depth character view of Obi-Wan, and we want it to be really cohesive, I think it just worked. And Deborah Chow is such a talented creative and director. And I think she made that so good. She made the show so good. And it, on top of that, the kind of execution of it all, we all knew this, but like how Ewan was an executive producer on the show, I think that was really important because obviously, like, as they go into, like, the connection that he has to the character of Obi-Wan is so deep, and he intrinsically understands that character more than anyone. And for him to be a producer on the show was so smart because, he can obviously have executive ideas and says into important things of the show. And I think that showed because one thing of the series was I was very impressed of the detail of it and how well thought out it was in terms of connecting it to the past and then also connecting it to the future. So it just really showed. And I know some people have had gripes with certain elements, but the warmth that comes into this show and the character arc of Obi-Wan, everything from the relationship to Leia, and then confronting Darth Vader like he did, and that insane scene with Darth at the end when he cracks his helmet, like, it's just so well done. It's so well done, and that was a beautiful summation of it all. And I like how they kind of used Ewan as the main kind of voiceover narrator of the show of this documentary. That was really cool. But and seeing Celebration there at the end, because I sat in that room watching all that happen, and it was just as emotional. It was I don't think a single person. There was about 10,000 people then. I don't think a single one of us would have had a dry eye. I think everyone was super emotional, and I think that's what they were trying to convey, and that's what they're saying this whole time. Like, it was hard not to be not emotional with the return of him and return of the show and him in the show, and it was just so joyous of a experience to be there in person to see the premiere, but also just the fact that this show is here and we have it and we have it now, and it's just stunning. So, this is meant to be a review, and of course, it's like this is like a 10 out of 10. You like anyone who likes Star Wars, even if you had issues with the Kenobi series, like this is a beautiful. It's a beautiful ode to Star Wars. I think a very honorary, hour of just the love of Star Wars, and I loved how they opened it with Alec Guinness, an interview with him and some words of past footage of him. I think that's really awesome, and how they honored that and his contribution to the character and how he started it, and obviously talking about George, frequently throughout it. Obviously he created it and made it all. I think that was awesome. Disney is finding a really good balance, I think, of everything. I mean, you have a franchise and series movies that span 3 different generations, and you're trying to find the middle ground of all that, and you're trying to find ways to connect with people of all those generations, and that's hard to do. I think we've got to accept that's hard to do, and I think that's why, we always have conversations of people not liking or disagreeing. Well, of course, it's like the breadth of the audience is so large, and it's impossible to get one thing. But I don't know. I feel like they've got a really cool balance of getting, you know, hitting the breadth of that audience of the different ages and demographics and countries, and it's just that they are exploring things, and especially Obi-Wan's character does this of this exploring this journey of hurt, of redemption, of guilt, of joy, of pain, and which are very human experiences to anyone of any background. And I think that's what made this show, for me at least, so connecting. Like, I was completely drawn into this show for so many reasons, and I think that's maybe one of the main reasons that Obi-Wan is really quite a human character, and they said it in the documentary of how they wanted to make him quite human and relatable, and at the start, he's just an ordinary man and ordinary human, and people can relate to his heartache and pain in some sort of way. And it's a beautiful thing to show that, you can overcome that. You can overcome pain and tragedy, and you can overcome. And I think it's a beautiful thing that this show really represents. But yeah, this is meant to be a review, but obviously this is just a love. This is a love video for Kenobi and this documentary. Really, really amazing. Definitely go have a watch of this. It's amazing to immerse yourself in the world of Kenobi again. It's really, really beautiful. But that is it for this video. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. I do a live show every Monday, 7 p.m. PST. It's a Star Wars variety show doing a whole bunch of making and creating things. So make sure you tune in for that every Monday, and I will see you in the next video.